Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a non-spoiler review of the Unwanted series by Lisa McMahon, which I just recently reread. As well, I'm going to be telling you a special announcement in just a second. So guys, happy Monday. I hope you all are doing well. Let's have a great start to the week. I'm not gonna waste any more time. Let's get into the special announcement. But basically, I got invited to become a part of the Next Chapter book club, which is really exciting. But basically, this is a book club hosted by yours truly, as well as we've got Sukrup from Sukrup and Books, Eric from Break Even Books, Nat from This Is Nat's Nook, Nidhi from Nidhi Ready Reads, and Monet from Life as Monet. So yeah, those are all the booktubers kind of participating in this. We're going to pick one book every month to read. This month's pick is Slay. I don't remember the author, but yeah, I'm gonna have to order that soon and read that. And then we're gonna have a live show / live stream at the end of every single month. So we're gonna pick a book, have a live stream, and I don't know which channel we'll be live streaming on. It might be this one, but I'll have all the information and we'll just get more information as we figure everything out. First live stream that we're doing is on August 2nd at 6 p.m. Eastern time. But yeah, that's really cool. I'm part of a book club now. It's gonna be great. I'll link everyone's channels down below that's participating. I'm so excited to get to know everyone better. And I'll link Sukrup's announcement video. I was not in the book club at that time, so I was not mentioned, but you know, it still has all the relevant information. Now we're gonna get into today's video. So today's video is gonna be a non-spoiler review of the Unwanted series by Lisa McMahon. I recently read this in June. Yes, June. And I'm gonna talk about it. And I'm also reading the Unwanteds class right now. So we'll talk about a little bit about all of it. We're gonna have a full review, non-spoilers, and yeah, it's gonna be really good. So make sure if you wanna leave a like on this video to support me, definitely do that. Subscribe to my channel down below, and also leave a comment if you've read this series or not, and if you'd be interested in reading this series after I tell you guys all about it. Yeah, let's jump right into the video. This is a long intro, but yeah, let's jump into it. Alright guys, so this is one of my favorite middle grade series, The Unwanteds by Lisa McMahon, and first I'm just gonna tell you guys a little bit about what it's about. I'm not gonna spoil anything again as well. You guys are perfectly safe from spoilers. This series is all about this really interesting chain of islands, this magical world hidden within another larger world that we get this conspiracy about as we go through the books. But basically we start out on this island named Quill. Now in Quill, the land is dull and dry and desolate. There's no trees, there's no color. It's basically just a grayed out world. Every year all the kids from the community are sent in to be purged. The holiday is the purge, and the kids are purged into different groups: the Wanteds, the Necessaries, and the Unwanteds. The Queen Justine, the governor of the land, she wants to have the Wanteds be like people that are needed for her and like for her success of the island, where basically they're going to go to college and they are going to, you know, work in like more of the government jobs and be more leaders. Then we have the Necessaries, who are just basically like the laborers, and they're like necessary to farming and to keeping the community alive. And then there's the Unwanteds that are sent to their deaths because they are creative and they are dangerous to High Priest Justine and her world. This story follows a pair of twins as they get purged. We follow Alex, who is an unwanted, and we follow Aaron, who's purged to be a wanted. So we follow Aaron as he goes off to college and he learns and he tries to gain his power because he's after the High Priest job. And then we also go off after Alex, who is a unwanted, who goes to his death. But we find out that there's this magical man named Mr. Today who has this whole mansion, this whole life, and has hidden this whole land basically from Quill. The land is called Artime. There's this mansion, all that good vibes and stuff, and basically he's saved, and there's this whole hidden world of all the creative people, and they learn art and magic and how to actually combine that with weaponry, because Quill starts kind of catching on to what Artime is doing, and there's this whole battle brewing. But you know, going back to Artime and stuff, like there's this whole mansion filled with like art and fun and like really cool, and there's like instruments, and they all have to learn like their different talents, and they have classes to go to. But again, the angst between Aaron being wanted and Alex being an unwanted, there's a lot of tension between that. Alex wants Aaron to come with him to this magical land called Artime, and somehow Aaron finds out, and you know, the whole land of Quill finds out about Artime, and there's this big giant war. That's kind of what sparks the series. It gets so much better as we go on. That was like a good synopsis, I feel like. I think I answered everything that you need to know. Basically, there's just two worlds on this island, Quill and Artime, and then over the next few books, the whole island chain gets introduced. There are 3 islands to the west and 3 islands to the east of the land of Quill and Artime, and throughout the series they go and adventure each one, which is why we have the Unwanteds, then we have the Island of Silence, then we have Island of Fire, Island of Legends. So there's like 7 different islands, and we explore them throughout the series. First, let's talk about the first book before we get into the other ones. The first and the second books were kind of my least favorite because we were stuck on just this one island. I like when we were exploring the other ones. But I will say I was so intrigued just by the start. Like, we got straight into the action. That's something that I really liked about Lisa McMann. From the start, we went into the Purge. That was the opening scene. There was no fluff of like being in the world. We just started right off at the Purge, which I really liked. You were hooked from the beginning because you're like, oh no, Alex is an unwanted. What do we do? He's going off to his death. But how is the story just going to end with him being on his death? Like, how? What is that? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Anyways, then, you know, we have Aaron going to the Wanteds. We already have that split, which increases the intriguity. We have like just this new world that we're dived into, and then, you know, they get saved by Mr. Today, and they go to this magical land named Artime. It's just such a whimsical and curious and interesting read when we get to Artime, because he learns skills, he learns how to do magic, and there's also this really interesting point to this, like the magical warrior training, being able to train to, you know, become a warrior of magic. That was really cool as well, and just learning different spells, and also just seeing like the whole like relationship between Alex and Aaron, because they're twins. I think I forgot to mention that. That was a really interesting point to the story, and I actually really enjoyed that point to it, because I'm a twin as well. I don't know if y'all knew that already. Anyways, I'm a twin, and so it was really interesting kind of like seeing, you know, and experiencing and seeing this other twin relationship. Like, that was crazy, and just how, like, you know, Aaron and Alex were so like inseparable, like they wanted to be with each other and they kept worrying about each other. And I don't know, it's also just really cool to see the wanted side, where Aaron went to the Wanteds and he went to college, and seeing him like invent things and like be impressed by the high priest Justine and just like gaining power. Like, I really like that about him. Like, I loved the two polar opposites, the unwanted and the wanted. That was really great. And then just seeing like at the end that that big battle, that was really where like that caught my interest, because the series is not really about just like being wanted or unwanted. It's really about like battles between different islands and politics and like just all different kinds of adventures and stuff. And also just seeing like the whole mansion. I don't really go over this, but the mansion was so wonderful. Like, there's statues everywhere, living statues. That was really interesting. There's tubes to get to everywhere. The mansion expands automatically as people come in. You know, there's classrooms, there's magic. It's just such an intriguing world, the world of Artime, and just the stark comparison between Quill and Artime. It's really great. I love that so much. But I think that like wraps up my thoughts on the first book. I will say I didn't really fall in love with the characters in the first book. It took me a few books to actually get attached to the characters, because the main character Alex actually really annoyed me in this book. I'm just going to kind of quickly go through each book and just kind of summarize my thoughts, because, you know, the first 2 books were not my favorite. But the second book is the introduction of the new island chain. After the big battle in the first book, I'm not really saying much, but some very needed people need to take a break and go on a vacation to the Island of Silence, which is actually not a great vacation spot. It's a very dangerous island. It's a silent island. It's just full of danger, basically. As well as Alex, the main character, is learning to become a mage of Artime, be a leader, a future leader of Artime. And then also we have Aaron. Aaron is also in this story, and he is trying to rise up again in the ranks of Quill. He's trying to rally people, and he's trying to, you know, gain power for himself, as well as he's trying to start to like attack Artime. This book was really great, and the ending just totally spun things out of control and set in the actual really great series. But the end of the second book spun this series into total chaos and mayhem, and I love it. The next book, Island of Fire, is really, really great. Something happens at the end of Island of Silence, which makes Alex have to go through this really tough point where he has to like revive the mansion, and he has to like get the Artemis back into a comfortable spot. We also see him have to rescue some people from the Island of Silence, and also the Island of Fire is introduced, where there's this big volcano that comes up out of the ground, and then it plunges down below. People living in this volcano too, and he's just wondering how people are able to survive the deep plunging and, you know, sinking of the volcano, which is really interesting. Just basically we get to start exploring the islands, and the adventure starts. Next up, we've got book 4, Island of Legends, where by far this is my favorite. I don't even know how much to say. I love this book. I read this at the beach actually, and it was amazing. This is like a whole adventure book basically, where the team from Artime gets on the boat and freaking sets sail across the islands, you know, rescuing people and helping out. And the Island of Legends is introduced, and they go to the Island of Legends. Weird creatures there, living there, and it's kind of like there's a bunch of stories to tell there, which is really nice. And also some dangers, and they have to go through a lot of trouble, and there's a lot of interesting thing in this book. As well as Aaron, he is going into this tube that is going to take him to the jungle, and he's kind of get the jungle creatures on his side. That is this book. I really like that. Okay, I love how my camera decides to die on me, but next up we have the Island of Shipwrecks, I believe. It's the one that I last talked about. But Island of Shipwrecks is basically another really great, I think this is my second favorite, but basically what happens at the end of Island of Legends leads to this shipwreck on an island, thus why it's called Island of Shipwrecks, and Alex and his team of Artimans have to figure out how to get off the island because they don't really know how to get off because they're shipwrecked because their boat got, you know, destroyed. So they're stranded basically, and they have to find out how to get off the island. And then back in Quill, Aaron is working to destroy Artime, grow his power. He's trying to, you know, get out there. He's trying to do things so that he can destroy Artime. That's basically what that book was about. I really love that book, one of my favorites again. And then a personal favorite is, again, Island of Graves. In this book, there's basically Alex and his Artimans back from their adventure over the islands, and there is this new leader of Quill that is very questionable, and their team is trying to kill that leader because she poses a really big threat to the world. Really, really love that book. That was really good. And then we have Island of Dragons. Basically, they discover the secret with the last island, and they have to do something for the dragons that live on this island. And then a lot of people from the other islands are coming to attack Artime, so there's this big battle at the end, and a lot of suffering happens. And yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on all the individual books. I just wanted to kind of go through quickly, you know, summarize what all the books were about, because the later books are kind of more interesting than the first book, I'll just say that. So the series gets really great. There's so much adventure to go on. But yeah, let's just kind of talk about the series as a whole, and then we'll end the video. I don't want this to be too long, so that's why I kind of just breezed through. But yeah, I can't say enough good things about this series, honestly. It's really short, really sweet. I read this in like 1 week, basically. I love the book so much. Again, the first two books, you know, they're just stuck in this one land, but once they start adventuring across the islands, figuring out the secrets and helping the people of each island, I really loved that feel to it, the adventure of going through each island. That was such a special thing to me. I love the characters and the relationships and just all the representation that Lisa McMahon had in this book. Like, you know, you start to see more LGBTQ plus relationships, and as well as we get a lot of diverse characters in there, and just like also learning the relationship between this world and our world that we live in today. Like, we start connecting it to America, and it's really great. I love this series so much, and the characters, the world, the islands, you know, the characters, like, she just was so imaginative, and just the political structure between Artime and Quill, and the Wanteds and the Unwanteds and the Necessaries, and just learning how Quill kind of and Artime, you know, clashed at each other throughout the series was really great, and the leaders of Quill, and the power structure, and just all the magic of Artime, and the magic of friendship and creativity, and I love it. There's so much great themes to it. It's a really just, it's more than a middle grade series for me, honestly. I think it just has those really great messages, and I love it so much. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed kind of this all over the place non-spoiler review on the Unwanted series. I really recommend this if you guys are like interested in like middle grade. It's like a great time for middle grade with all the terrible stuff that's happening in the world right now, and especially because the coronavirus is surging upwards again. And also news, I guess, which would be fun to say, is that my school is not even gonna really fully open. I'm gonna go for 1 week, so the school is being split up into 3 ways, and I'm going to be in one group with my brother where we're going to go to school for 1 week, and then we're going to have 2 weeks off of school, and then we're going to be learning online, and then we're going to go into school. That's going to be freaking terrible. So yeah, basically with all this terrible stuff going on, this is a really great middle grade to warm you up. It's pretty nice. I love it so much. And again, just throughout the whole series, it gets better, it evolves, and this islands and the adventure and the main characters, I love it so much. So definitely go check it out. They want to buy this one, man. I'll leave the books in the description down below. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a great week. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel down below. Leave a comment down below if you read the Unwanteds, or would you be interested in reading the Unwanteds, or what are some other middle grade series that you want to recommend for me. I really appreciate you guys who, you know, make it to the end of the videos and comment and all that stuff. Like, you guys are so appreciated. And I think that wraps it up. If you want to see my last review, I did a Keeper of Lost Cities review. Go check that out. It's basically a 40-minute long spoiler talk about KOTLC. I know a lot of you guys have read that, but that's like another middle grade series. And there are some non-spoiler parts, and there's timestamps so you can avoid spoilers. So yeah, go check that out. Love you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next next video. Again, I'll link all the book club stuff in the description if you want to see that. But yeah, I'm so excited that with all that's coming. So yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Watch one of the videos on screen and have a great day. Cheerio!